Thank you. Further comment or questions? I do have a question with respect to the fee structure, and I realize it's certainly not a huge number, but is the reason for 4-year review as opposed to 2 years just based on that it's not very much, and we think that we'll be fine with adjusting every 4 years as opposed to the budget cycle?
Yeah, I think it's just about a balance between the sort of time and energy it takes to evaluate the fees. I mean, the billable hours that went on this rulemaking probably exceeded the annual intake of the fees for this. So we don't want to wait 40 years before we look at it again. But I do think, given even after 40 years, we're only increasing it a modest amount. Yeah, I think that's why we went for 4 years instead of 2.
Okay, thank you. And another question I have is with respect to the railroads and their opposition, was it based on just, we don't want a higher fee, or was there further basis for it? I don't remember seeing anything in the staff report, but if you could refresh memory.
Sure, I'm gonna defer to Matt or Max on that, on the exact. I mean, obviously they don't want to pay more.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's fine.
But their rationale behind why they felt like they shouldn't have to pay more?
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
does it take less training, or
Yeah.
are they not served by us?
Matt?
They had concerns. In particular, they were worried about the permitting structure, as they cannot say at what time they will know a shipment will be on the rail. So, in their opinion, they thought that they should be excluded because of that. However, as you saw, our DOJ, through their search, did believe that they could be subject to reasonable fees charged to this for training emergency responders. Some of the railroads also noted that they provide training to some of their local emergency responders already, and because of that they were providing value to the communities, and that it would be a situation where they weren't sure how they would be assessed this fee or pay this fee, or how they would work with us in the future. There were concerns about how the administration of the program would run.
Thank you for that. Any further questions, comments from the council? Okay, with that, I think
let's go to the next slide. I think that's oh yeah, there was a couple more things to go through. There were some questions about notification, tribal involvement, some safety concerns, but they were sort of all outside the scope of this rulemaking, which was specifically directed to fee amounts and establishing the correct fee. So it, unfortunately, determining whether notice to the public about regarding what was being shipped, regulating rail equipment and that sort of thing is all well outside the scope of this. But to the extent folks are interested in this subject and are concerned about this, I would encourage people to reach out to their legislators or county and city folks if you are concerned about this. But this, unfortunately, was outside the scope of the rulemaking. So go ahead and go to the next slide. All right, I turn it over to the council for their deliberation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jackman. So this is an action item, and so members, we have 3 options. Option 1 is the recommended action by staff to approve the radioactive transport fee rulemaking. Option 2 is approve the radioactive transport fee rulemaking as recommended with modifications, and option 2 to deny the rulemaking. So,
Chair Condon.
Yeah, Councillor Howe.
I move the council adopt the proposed radioactive material transport fee rules as presented by the staff report.
Thank you.
Second.
We're just fast. The tie goes to Counselor Devlin, and who has seconded the motion. Is there any comment, questions, discussion before we move to the vote? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary.
Denise Calderon,
Yes.
Ann Byer,
Yes.
Cindy Condon,
Yes.
Richard Devlin,
Aye.
Les Walton,
Yes.
Kent Howe,
Yes.
Patty Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries, Chair Condon.
Thank you very much. And before we break for lunch, Secretary Cornett has a bit of modification
Yeah,
to
thank
the
you,
agenda.
Chair Condon. I sent an updated version of the timeline and the chair script to council members just a few minutes ago. So to the next agenda item, we're going to be having an overview of the Yellow Rose Bush with the exceptions hearing. And the process is not defined at all in our rules, so we kind of have to make it up. So we made a couple slight changes, nothing different than what's in the agenda. So, for the parties, it all is going to work the same. There is just one potential vote. It's not even necessarily a vote that you're going to take, but a potential vote. We just sort of switched that around and some language related to that motion language. So nothing substantive for anybody, but just wanted to make sure that you all had the latest update. So please use that version. And then Jesse Ratcliffe with the Department of Justice, who's going to be acting as the legal counsel to council today. He'll provide a much more detailed overview of this agenda item when we get into that.
So with that, we'll break for lunch. Relatively short break, 15 minutes or so. So how about 12:25. Thank you. Actually, can we break till 12?